Hey everyone, Vanessa Bartlett here with you today. We're going to go through some do's and don'ts for exercise while you are pregnant. First, I'm going to go through first trimester, then variations for the second trimester and variations for the third. Now, always consult your doctor or obstetrician, whoever you are seeing for the pregnancy, to ensure that exercise is okay for you to do. That's the number one thing, really, really important. So, let's begin with first trimester. The good news is, if you are already exercising, it is pretty much okay, like 99% okay, to do what you normally do in the first trimester as what you regularly do anyway prior to the pregnancy. So you can do any activity if your body is used to it. I wouldn't go starting a whole new exercise regime if you haven't exercised in a few years. Wouldn't be doing that. I'd only be sticking to light walking and very light stretches and gentle body weight strengthening type moves. So don't go doing anything crazy. But if you are doing vigorous exercise and you're used to it, continue with it, but you must listen to your body. Day by day, it's different, as you know. The first trimester for me was very, very tiring. My energy was super, super low. And even I started to notice my muscles were not recovering as well. Not that I do high intensive stuff, but even with the basic stuff I was doing, I found it really difficult to recover. So I had to pull back on the amount of repetitions and things I'm doing. Even the breathing started to increase already. So first trimester, you are pretty much okay to do most things. Let's talk about the second trimester, because this is where a lot of the changes start to happen for your body. Now, you're not so big yet during the second trimester. Perhaps about halfway through you might start to show, a little bit earlier. It's different for everyone. First thing I want to talk about here is abdominals. Now, during pregnancy, it is not the time to be building your core and your abdominals. Yes, work on your pelvic floor, which is lifting and drawing up through the pelvic floor region. I'll do another video on that for you. But in terms of the stomach muscles and the six pack and the surface layer muscles, what we want to do is actually be relaxing them, because that will help with the muscle separation. So avoid from about midway through or earlier of the second trimester crunches, no more. Not necessary. Obliques, no, not necessary. Any of this front abdominal work that you may have done, avoid it. It's not the time in pregnancy. Now, I am 19 weeks as of today, so I can't even demo a lot of this stuff, but just to show you, coming down into those full sit-up type movements, all the way down and all the way up. Again, not really necessary. Even if you don't have much of a bump, you're putting a lot of strain on the front of the tummy. And like I said, at this point, it is not the time to be strengthening and tightening your stomach. In fact, we want to just let those muscles relax and do their thing, obviously to grow bigger and stretch out for the baby. Okay, so then towards the end of the second trimester, we want to start to avoid laying down too much. What happens when you lay down flat is the baby will be heavy and it's pressing down on one of our main veins, okay? So that can cause dizziness and things like that. Not so bad now, so what am I, 19 weeks, 19, 20, probably in a couple more weeks I'd start to probably exclude this, but that's towards the end of the second trimester. Okay, so avoid laying on your back. So if you wanted to do, say, some leg work, which you can do, all of this stability work rather than the crunches and things, this is all fine, and some nice deep abdominal, transverse abdominal pelvic floor work, this kind of stuff without lifting and crunching into your tummy, this is okay up until the mid to the end of the second trimester. Again, because we don't want to crunch, but it's also safe to lay on our back until that point. Now, when you get to that point where it's not good to lay on your back where you're bigger, you could get an angled pillow or something behind you, or even just leaning back to do some of the leg exercises and stretches and things that you were doing. It's just that you're not laying flat so that you don't cause that dizziness for yourself. Second trimester, towards the middle to the end again, you want to start to avoid intra-abdominal pressure. What that means is planks, things where you are holding your body up and my legs are back, gravity is pushing me down. So the stomach, intra-abdominal pressure, is where the stomach is being pushed Okay, obviously when you're like this, it's okay when your knees are in, but if your legs are back, that's causing a lot of pressure pushing down, and especially the bigger you get, you don't want those deep abdominals kind of moving the baby down. You want to be able to draw the baby in and gently lift up and have that control, but without the added pressure of the legs off the ground, because that does change the alignment of your body and the muscles required and the strength required. So no more planks. Side planks are okay, perhaps with one leg, but you know, it's a little bit strong beyond the second trimester to be doing that kind of stuff, again, where you've got that pressure in your tummy pushing down against you. So avoid that, and that means also avoiding push-ups on the floor as well. Same thing, intra-abdominal pressure here. Okay, it's all right up until mid to the end of the second trimester. Instead, you could do push-ups that are against the wall, like this. Because you're standing more upright, the pressure is not as intensive on your tummy, so that's okay. Okay, so moving then into the third trimester, what you want to avoid here, so obviously no laying down at that point. Wouldn't be running or jumping, doing things like that, but people have mixed opinions about it. Of course, ask your doctor and listen to your own body as to how you are feeling. But I wouldn't be doing any high impact stuff. Gentle strengthening for the arms, the legs, hip stretches are great, especially into that third trimester. Your hips and lower back may be getting a little bit sore. So doing some nice stretches, this kind of thing is great to open out through your sides. Okay, keeping the leg down, bringing the feet together, that's all good. What you want to avoid though at the end, mid to late third trimester, is split stance exercises. This, because what we've got happening is the relaxin hormone. So the relaxin hormone is going through the body, loosening up the ligaments and joints, obviously ready for the birth. A split stance exercise is where we have one leg out, one leg in another position. So this would be a split stance. Generally in Pilates we would do this. It's fine for the first 2 trimesters or so. But then beyond that, third trimester, where you're getting really stretched through the lower back area and the pelvis, wouldn't be doing split stance. Another example of split stance exercise is lunges. So again, great for probably first and second trimester to keep your glute and leg strength, provided that you don't have too much pain in your lower back. Sometimes that can aggravate because of the split. But yeah, don't be doing that in your third trimester either. You can do more of the kind of closer squats, okay? That's all fine. Okay, and then bringing it down, single leg squeezing, stuff like this to really isolate your thighs, lifting up, and then of course, depending on where the baby's positioned, how big you are and things like that, and your mobility. So of course, keep up the upper body exercises, so some light weights. Avoid lifting your hands above your head too much. If you're doing weights, for example, this can cause a bit of dizziness as well. But TheraBands are great. I've got some really good upper body exercises with the TheraBands that are safe for you to do. So do check out those videos as well. Upper back strengthening is super important. So we want to keep squeezing through our upper back, lifting our posture the whole time, because gravity in the baby will be pulling us forward. We want to try and balance that out. Keep squeezing, opening nice and strong through the upper body. Light weights, resistance bands are fantastic. And some nice yoga, as long as it's prenatal yoga as well. Keep the legs stretching. Think of this as a time to nurture and relax and stretch the body with gentle strengthening rather than going too hardcore. Okay, you can go back to exercise months after when you're feeling back to normal, when you've got the okay for your doctor. Any questions on this, do post below. I think I've covered everything for you today. Really good luck in your pregnancy. I wish you well on your journey. It's a very exciting time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.